Hi there, my name is Mr. Pete. I am a fourth grade teacher. I'm currently reading Louis Sachar's Holes, and we are about to start chapter 26. Listen, I'm not even gonna be mystical about this. Really start focusing now because we are about to hit the ground running. There has been a lot of buildup. There has been a lot of exposition in this book, learning about these characters, heading towards what this book really is about. And we've been talking a lot about destiny. We've been talking about characters from 200 years ago with Elia Yelnats. We've been talking about current day characters with Stanley Yelnats and his family and these boys. And now we're going back 110 years to learn about Green Lake and their characters. And it all seems to be slowly coming together. We learned about Catherine Barlow, the school teacher, falling in love with Sam the Onion Man, and someone seeing them kiss in the street and saying that God's going to punish them. And that's where we left off. We have Mr. Sir like wanting to do like bad things to Stanley. Stuff is happening. So let's keep going. Chapter 26. Let's not slow down. Let's pick it up. There were no telephones, but word spread quickly through the small town. By the end of the day, everyone in Green Lake had heard that the school teacher had kissed the onion picker. Not one child showed up for school the next morning. Different time, different place. Miss Catherine sat alone in the classroom and wondered if she had lost track of the day of the week. Perhaps it was Saturday. It wouldn't have surprised her. Her brain and heart had been spinning ever since Sam kissed her. Highlight her brain and heart had been spinning. That is hyperbole. Also, again, she's in love and she's happy and she doesn't really understand why nobody's in her school building. She thinks maybe it's Saturday. Why do you think nobody is there? She heard a noise outside the door, then suddenly a mob of men and women came storming into the school building. They were led by Trout Walker. "There she is," Trout shouted. "The devil woman." The mob was turning over desks and ripping down bulletin boards. "She's been poisoning your children's brains with books," Trout declared. They began piling all the books in the center of the room. "Think about what you're doing," cried Miss Catherine. Someone made a grab for her, tearing her dress, but she managed to get out of the building. She ran to the sheriff's office. The sheriff had his feet up on his desk and was drinking from a bottle of whiskey. "Morning, Miss Catherine," he said. "They're destroying the schoolhouse," she said, gasping for breath. "They'll burn it to the ground if someone doesn't stop them." "Just calm your pretty self down a second," the sheriff said in a slow drawl, "and tell me what you're talking about." He got up from his desk and walked over to her. "Trout Walker has—" "Now don't go saying nothing bad about Charles Walker," said the sheriff. "We don't have much time," urged Catherine. "You've got to stop them." "You're sure pretty," said the sheriff. Miss Catherine stared at him in horror. "Kiss me," said the sheriff. She slapped him across the face. He laughed. "You kissed the onion picker. Why won't you kiss me?" She tried to slap him again, but he caught her by the hand. She tried to wriggle free. "You're drunk," she yelled. "I always get drunk before hanging." "A hanging? Who?" "It's against the law for a Negro to kiss a white woman." "Well, then you'll have to hang me too," said Catherine, "because I kissed him back." "It ain't against the law for you to kiss him," the sheriff explained, "just for him to kiss you." "We're all equal under the eyes of God," she declared. The sheriff laughed. "Then, if Sam and I are equal, why won't you kiss me?" He laughed again. "I'll make you a deal. One sweet kiss, and I won't hang your boyfriend. I'll just run him out of town." Miss Catherine jerked her hand free. As she hurried to the door, she heard the sheriff say, "The law will punish Sam, and God will punish you." She stepped back into the street and saw smoke rising from the schoolhouse. She ran down to the lakefront. where Sam was hitching Mary Lou to the onion cart. "Thank God I found you," she sighed, hugging him. "We've got to get out of here. Now." "What?" "Someone must have seen us kissing yesterday," she said. "They set fire to the schoolhouse. The sheriff said he's going to hang you." Sam hesitated for a moment, as if he couldn't quite believe it. He didn't want to believe it. "Come on, Mary Lou." "We have to leave Mary Lou behind," said Catherine. Sam stared at her a moment. There were tears in his eyes. "Okay." Sam's boat was in the water, tied to a tree by a long rope. He untied it, and they waded through the water and climbed aboard. His powerful arms rowed them away from the shore. But his powerful arms were no match for Trout Walker's motorized boat. They were little more than halfway across the lake when Miss Catherine heard the loud roar of the engine. Then she saw the ugly black smoke. These are the facts. The Walker boat smashed into Sam's boat. Sam was shot and killed in the water. Catherine Barlow was rescued against her wishes. When they returned to the shore, she saw Mary Lou's body lying on the ground. The donkey had been shot in the head. That all happened 110 years ago. Since then, not one drop of rain had fallen on Green Lake. You make the decision. Whom did God punish? 3 days after Sam's death, Ms. Catherine shot the sheriff while he was sitting in his chair drinking a cup of coffee. Then she carefully applied a fresh coat of red lipstick and gave him the kiss he had asked for. For the next 20 years, Kissin' Kate Barlow was one of the most feared outlaws in all the West. So back then it was against the law. Didn't really matter. This town kind of did things their own way. Trout Walker had all the money. All the people supported Trout Walker. So they went and they burned down the schoolhouse. Books. And they burned the books because you don't want to get smart. You just want to follow Trout Walker, the rich guy. So they riot into the building. They burn down the schoolhouse. They run Catherine Barlow out, and she asks for help from the sheriff. The sheriff says, "No, I'm going to hang Sam." She gets Sam. They try to travel across the lake, but Trout Walker and a mob of people catch them. They kill Sam. They let Catherine live, which is probably their mistake. And they get back to shore. She sees that Mary Lou has been killed, and that turns her into Kissin' Kate Barlow, who we've actually been talking about. Did y'all catch that? Catherine Barlow, the teacher, turned into the outlaw, Kissin' Kate Barlow. And she was an outlaw for 20 years. And her first kill as an outlaw was the sheriff, and that's where she put on the lipstick and gave him a big smooch after she killed him. Okay? So, a lot to take in there. Where do we go from here? Was that lipstick container her lipstick container? We shall see. All right. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, leave comments. Leave comments here. Obviously, this was a very interesting chapter, one in which I would love to dialogue with all of you with. We know that things today aren't supposedly the same as they were 110 years ago, although we do see some of the same things happening, and for the same reasons. So anytime you want to have a conversation about that, please, this is a safe space for that. Tell me what you think. What do you think about this? What do you think about them looking at education as bad and burning books, and having people who just have different skin colors not being able to be friends? Let's go ahead and stop there. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will definitely keep this dialogue going. All right? Can't wait to see what happens next. I'll see you on the next page. Peace.